I carried that. The sticker and everything. If I would get feelings to see the kids I take to this community stores in their cars and. Hopefully it'll only be fixed. That one. Well, you know, when it's up to the paving sign, it's. Windows are matter. I just. I'm trying to tell you, just sit still. Something first, but. I think that.
No, you aren't.
No.
I mean, I went to lunch and then I went home and installed a lock on my garage.
That's where to keep you going.
Or hurt her again.
Yeah, it's my daughter says, you'll be fine until you break your back again.
How did you break it?
I'm old.
No, that's.
Well, that's a previously target. That's a previously perk for a minute. I'm going, okay, Brian's on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Welcome, Brian.
You know, Brian?
Yeah, great guy. Great
Yeah,
guy.
he's good guy. Really good guy.
Yeah. I was just doing that.
But this is all stemming, excuse me, a previous injury. That always baby. But it's hard. We have to do things.
Much more frustrating.
Yep.
We're going to hard. Finally.
All right, 2:00 on the dot. We will call our Commissioner Weekly Business Meeting for January 29th, 2026 to order. In attendance, we have all three commissioners, our Executive Administrative Assistant Tiffany Tanner. And if we can, please go around the room and introduce yourself just for the record.
Carol Palmer.
Anita Bernhardt.
Alexis Doctor.
Jacob Smith. Bob Cobb.
Ursula Brazy.
Kyle Leeds.
Thank you, everybody. And who do we have online, Tiff?
WDB, Lacey Lincoln, Kathy Vigliotti, Beaver Creek Park, and Ashley Taylor.
Awesome. And Kathy Olson, welcome. All right. Additions, deletions, and changes. On that, we do have one. We do have a notice of sealed bid. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Hill County Commissioners are accepting sealed bids for the sale of the following surplus vehicle. A Ford Econoline Ambulance, 1983, has 43,841 miles on it. Vehicle is in good condition. If you'd like to inspect the vehicle, please contact Lowell Strissel at 406-390-2111 for more information. Sealed bids must be submitted to the Board of Hill County Commissioners at 315 4th Street, Havre, Montana, 59501. All bids must be received no later than 1:00 p.m. on February 23rd, 2026. Late bids will not be accepted. Per the bid requirements, bids must be submitted in a sealed envelope clearly marked sealed bid 1983 Ford Econoline Ambulance. Include the bidder's name, address, phone number, and bid amount. The minimum bid is $2,000. The vehicle is sold as is, where is, with no warranties or guarantees. Payment must be made in full within 5 business days of the bid acceptance. Now, the bid opening will be opened in a public meeting on February 23rd, 2026 at 1:00 p.m. in the Commissioner's office at the Hill County Courthouse. The award of the bid will be announced at the following Commissioner business meeting. The Board of Hill County Commissioners reserves the right to reject any and all bids, to waive irregularities, or to accept any bid they deem to be in the best interest of Hill County. For further information, contact Executive Administrative Assistant to the Commission, Tiffany Tanner, at 406-265-5481, or by email at tannert@hillcounty.us. Prior to the Board of the Hill County Commissioners in regular session this 29th day of January 2026 at Havre, Montana. This will be published in the Havre Weekly Chronicle legal section on Wednesday, February 4th, as well as Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. Okay, public comments on non-agenda items. Public comments on agenda items. Oh, go ahead, Jacob.
Is the Great Western about the?
We can discuss that, yeah. Okay, definitely. Yeah, we'll bring it up during that section. Yeah.
have one.
Okay.
Ron Turner's contract. Have we heard anything yet?
I have not.
He's gonna walk away from it if we don't.
Okay, with the contract, where is that at right now? Okay, I'm in full support of it. I have not seen anything on the contract on that. Do we have our county attorney on the screen there? Lacey, do you have any additional information on this?
Oh.
Oh.
It is on the to-do list. I've gone to a couple of other contracts, as you guys can see. But hopefully it should be ready to go for you guys to review next week.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lacey. Speaking of contracts, on our agenda here, we have,
Come straight down to that. Are we gonna do our commissioner comments?
oh, I'm so sorry. Yep, commissioner comments.
I have some excellent quorums. 122 at 3:30 PM. All three commissioners had a COA reopening discussion. 123, 10:30 AM, Commissioner Strissel and Lanier, discussion on the audits that are behind. 11:10 AM, all three commissioners signed and discussed the letter of support for Bear Pod development. 11:15 AM, all three commissioners had another discussion on the COA reopening confirmation. Then 3 PM, Commissioners Williams and Lanier had a discussion on the COA. 126, Commissioners Williams and Lanier had a discussion on the agenda for our weekly business meeting. Just before our business meeting. On the 27th, all three commissioners had a COA discussion. And then 129, which should have been this morning at 10:15 AM, Commissioner Strissel and Lanier had a discussion with Bob Call regarding the fair board. Fill in holes, please. Let's fill in any holes that I may have missed.
No, that
I said something else.
sounds right. We've been kind of. No, we've been kind of scattered this week, so. Employment, we do have a letter of termination, a Don Ward for, clerk and recorder's office. She was a helper with elections. All right, now let's get to the contracts. First up, we have, contract HC 26-214 Lakeside Excavation. I do not believe we have that ready to go yet. I think that is also in the works. I do believe that will be done in the near future, probably
Next week.
this time next week. We should be able to vote on that. So I'd recommend a motion to table that one.
Motion to table Lakeside Excavation Contract HC 26-214.
Yeah,
A motion a second on the,
What's all left on that? Like what I've seen on the email, was that the previous contract that was up in there?
Mhm.
So we just need to change that, or is
an update.
Tyler actually doing it?
No, it's sent to Lacey.
yeah, it was sent to Lacey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an updated contract.
I made all the changes I could, but the dollar amounts I left for Lacey to fix. So it's in her ballpark.
That's not something that Tyler would,
No, Tyler provided the information.
oh, okay.
The wording's just different and I didn't know if she wanted to leave it the same as the 2020 contract or change it. So she said she'll have it ready by next week.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of tabling the contract 26-214 until next week, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 3-0. Next up, HC 26-215 TP Construction Incorporated, contract for the Beaver Creek flood repairs. This contract was made on the 20th day of 26 between Hill County, Montana, a political subdivision with offices at the Hill County Courthouse, 315 4th Street, Havre, Montana. Herein referred to as county, and Brett Patrick of TP Construction, herein referred to as contractors. So this is a contract to fix The Beaver Creek flood repairs, that we had a couple years ago. This is in the amount of 84,500. It has a full list of,
The dollar amount's been changed.
oh, it has been changed? Yep, I knew that actually. Trying to see if we have an actual number on this contract. I don't believe we do. No, yeah, the new sum is $76,654, which is better than the 84,500. So
500, so that's down.
that is excellent. This was a bidded out project. We did receive the bids. Bids were open during the last park board meeting, and we did go with the lowest bid for this project. So if anybody would like to look at this contract, they're more than welcome to. We'll have it available upon request. So what's our wishes for this contract?
And that was all approved through the park and Daniel.
Correct. Yep.
I motion to approve Hill County contract 26-214 for TP Construction Incorporated for Beaver Creek flood repairs. If the dollar amount changed from 84,500 to $76,654.
I'll second that.
Excellent. We have a motion and a second on the table. Further discussion? We really appreciate Mr. Patrick stepping up and staying local. And that's a heck of a deal here. I think this is going to be great for everybody involved. Further discussion? Yes, ma'am.
That change to exclude site CD10 that was why the reduction was put in.
Let me see if that's in this contract.
Says the amount of 84,500 recently changed to exclude site CD10 and the new amount of 76,000.
Yes, ma'am, that is in this contract. CB10 has been deleted. So we do have,
To go into.
I can amend my motion to include also recently changed to exclude site CB10. With the dollar amount change.
Thank you.
Second that.
motion and a second for the amended motion, eliminating CB10 from the verbiage in the contract. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of passing the amended HC 26-215, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 3-0. Lexi, do you have your,
Nope,
Stamp.
I will.
all right. Next up, we have a purchase request for building maintenance for a cordless press tool kit in the amount of $4,370.89. This was submitted by Daryl Inez, Building and Grounds. And thank you, Jacob, for attending today's meeting. It looks like one of these will be taking out of let's see, 411202-210 and line item 411200-210. The one that's coming out of 411202 is $2,172.97. The rest of it, $3,581.88 will come out of 411200. Jacob, what's your institutional knowledge on this device?
So the camper is kind of what we're asking for. It would help us a lot kind of up at jail. So like if there's a leak, instead of trying to repair it with the shark bites, spending dollars at a time, using this just for the fight, it's lasts a lot longer than a shark bite.
Perfect. Makes sense. It looks like this comes out of two different budgets. One jail repair budget and then the general maintenance budget for the courthouse is what I'm understanding on that. Okay. Perfect. Alrighty. Well, what's our wishes?
So do you have to order a whole kit just for the Clipper part of it?
So if you order just the camper part, it comes with none of the jaws. By ordering the whole kit, it comes with all the jaws at a cheaper price. Jaws usually run $300-400 piece.
What brand are you going with?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Cause I'm looking at one right now that's cheaper than, just a couple $100 cheaper. So I don't know if your kit includes something different.
They do have the stuff in there.
I think I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at $199.
Mhm.
Milwaukee.
How many crimper pieces does it have? You do need the different sizes,
There's
correct?
6 different company pieces. There's a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, a 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/2 inch, and a 2 inch.
That's what I'm showing. I just wonder why this price is different. It's a couple $100 cheaper. Bet you it's the same kit. You only show 5 in this one. Look at the photo.
Mhm.
Have you looked in on it?
What's the difference in websites that you're looking at there? Williams?
They're just online. I literally just punched in.
When I looked it up the other day after Daryl came in on Tuesday, like that, I looked it up and I saw the one I didn't see anything cheaper. I saw some that were more expensive, but I was specifically looking at that time for the Milwaukee brand, since that's the ones that he got.
This actually has more. It's cheap, couple $100 cheaper. It actually has another battery in it. Everything else. Two. This one only, well, I'm just going off the one here. It doesn't. It only has one.
It has 2.
Going off what this says, and
I
it has
understand.
one, so. I just think if you can, maybe it's just the deal of the day. Maybe you could get it cheaper. I don't know, maybe save a couple $100. I'm not against getting a kid. I just wanna
Make sure we're getting the
try
cheapest
to,
price.
yeah. I mean, if we
Understandable.
can get something as good as not a little more
Sure, sure.
and for cheaper.
All right. Well, as for the request itself for the tool, the Milwaukee cordless press toolkit, what's our wishes?
We can approve it, and if you could,
If we can find it for
For less.
cheaper, let's do that.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are we approving this if it's under the $10,000 purchase?
he wanted it approved by us.
Oh, okay.
That was the request of the department
But the
head.
county policy is still 10,000, right?
Right.
It is, yes. No, it was just at the request of the.
He didn't want to
department head.
spend that much for an item without going through this process.
Okay.
Thank you for asking that. That's, I was gonna mention that, and forgot.
Okay.
Yay, nay?
Yeah, I'll motion to go ahead with it if they can maybe get it a little cheaper. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Savings for a county. And if you want, I can forward this. Or show it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And so I motion to go ahead.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion. And a second to purchase a Milwaukee cordless press toolkit. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the approving the Milwaukee Toolkit, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 3-0.
Read that motion.
Oh.
Joking.
All right, next up. We have a reappointment letter for Max Vogel for the Havre City County Airport Board. Just says, Dear Max, thank you for accepting a reappointment to the Havre City County Airport Board. Your term will be 3 years from December 2026 to December 2029. We appreciate your willingness to serve on this board. Thank you very much. Hill County Commissioners. We do thank and appreciate all of our volunteers on boards throughout the county.
The dates on that again?
December 2026 to December 2029, 3-year term.
He must have one right now that goes to December 26th.
Yeah, his term was up in 26. This is just a clerical.
How about the dates that you said with 26?
Oh, yeah, December 2026, the
Right,
year,
we're in 26 now, so it should be December
Oh.
25.
as you were. Yep. Just when I get my checks and everything else into 26, we go back to 25. Thank you so much for the clarification. All right. Discuss and decide on matters related to the Hill County Council on Aging. Yes, ma'am.
I have a letter I'd like to read. I wrote this letter and have the approval of most of the seniors down there. Hello, my name is Ursula Brazy. I am a volunteer at the Havre Senior Center. I would like you to read this letter publicly in this week's weekly business meeting on January 26, 2026, and put it into public record. First, I want to thank Sherry for taking on as the interim director. She has been remarkable. Secondly, I am tired of backstabbing and nitpicking at the courthouse. I've had more bosses than any of you. I was an assistant manager for 2 home care unit companies one time. Yes, we had arguments, disagreed many times, but we were a team. And as you know, there's no I in team. Any changes at the center, their director should be addressed directly about it and not go behind his or her back. For example, the mail. Why is the mail going to the courthouse? At this point, I trust no one there. One of the commissioners was supposed to help Sandy Brown get food from Rudyard Senior Center. They did not show up and she had to find a trailer from a local business and ask her family members to help. I want to thank Sandy for a job well done. At this point, I and other seniors feel that 2 or 3 other commissioners are sabotaging any efforts to have a center and its reopening. I'm so disgusted and disappointed in seeing what is happening to people here. I'm here for the seniors and nobody else. We voted you into office and I feel like your agenda is not for the people. Sincerely, Ursula Brazy.
Thank you, and I appreciate the copy. We'll put that into the record. Any other things on the Council on Aging?
Well, we have commodities coming in on the 4th. Go ahead and distribute as soon as we can after that. State will be here for that. I've been working on
The 4th or the 5th?
Wednesday.
That's
The
Wednesday.
4th.
Be the 4th, yeah.
State will be here the 5th. For my email. Is one there another? Trying to get started on Capstone, went up to Eagles Manor, talked to them about the meals up there and the billing and who was supposed to be paying and who wasn't. There was a misunderstanding there, so it affected our payments that were coming in. We got that straightened out yesterday. Been working on the medical equipment, organizing that, reorganizing that. inclusive to what, you know, people need when they come in. There's so many things that are going on.
So what was the issue with the Eagles banner?
The billing, there was people not paying because they were under the impression it was just a donation if they were under 60. That's not the case. Anyone over 60 does not have to pay, and it
Right.
can be a donation, and a lot of those people are paying as a donation. But we have several that are under 60 that are taking several meals a day and not paying. So we are going to rectify.
I didn't know if any of them were thinking that since they had a kitchen at one time and had meals there, if that was included in part of their rent there.
And it was at that time, but has not been.
No, I mean, I thought, wondering if any of them were thinking that the meals from the center was part of their rent. So that's,
Yeah, some of them were. So I'm gonna try to put a little notice in with their bills and that. So yes, next week I gotta turn around and do billing. Everything else. So yeah, there's just, lots of things going on. Lots of things in play right now that I'm working through. Sure. Hope I'm not forgetting anything, but I'm sure I am. There's just a lot going on.
No, thank you for the update. Any other discussion on the Hill County Council on Aging? Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So I'm just here to ask. Is it true that you still have people that are being paid on administrative leave?
No.
Okay. So they haven't.
None of them are being paid.
We have nobody that is being paid that is on administrative leave. Nobody's on administrative leave. As we sit today, we have 3 employees at the Council on Aging here in Havre. We have 1 full-time employee and 2 part-time employees, and that is all we have.
I'm glad that I came and asked that.
Yes, because it's really been I've even got calls at the desk. Why is so-and-so and so-and-so getting paid on leave? And I said, I'm just a volunteer. I have no clue what's going on.
Sure. No, I appreciate, it helps when it's a direct conversation
Right.
rather than going through the rumor mill and everything. So I do appreciate you coming in and asking these questions directly.
What are the positions that are being paid?
1 full-time cook and 1 part-time cook and 1 part-time delivery driver.
the part-time cooks.
Part-time
Kitchens.
assistant.
Kitchens.
Okay, kitchen assistant. Thank
So
you.
there's nobody in administration, no clerks, no nothing that's being paid.
Oh, ma'am.
Okay.
I want to let you know, I have tons of skills, as probably some of you know, and I'm available to help you. If you want me to come in, sign a confidentiality waiver, help you go through things, I'd be happy.
Can't remember, did you do a volunteer form?
I did do a volunteer form, and I had spoke to the person who was in the position you're in now and offered the same thing, and
And so that's another thing I've been working on is trying to go through my volunteer apps and slowly go through there and kind of finalize or get it fine tuned to who can help me where and when that's needed. So that's another thing I've been working on when I get a free.
I had passed your name on to the previous director as well as somebody that would be good to.
She has experience in grants, might be something, yes.
I
That'd be
may be on city council as of next week, so.
Okay,
But I would still come in and help. I'm retired, I love getting out and helping in the community. My other question, I had another question, it just escaped me, I'm sorry.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a senior.
It'll
Yes.
pop up.
The board. Are we establishing, because I was reading the bylaws online and we should have a advisory board of seniors established. Are we doing that?
I'm in the process of getting people calls, setting up interview times. And forward with it. So, yes, I've been working on that this week. In between everything. Yeah.
We should have it all done.
Oh, at least within 40 hours.
And yes, we will be open on February 2nd. So for activities, no pickup of meals, delivery only, and after I get other things under control, then getting the meals in the center and on the High Line. So, yeah.
Thank you for all your work.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bob?
Yes, Bob.
also a senior citizen, but I have very few times used the senior citizen center. But I do attend a lot of coffee clubs. And numerous people in these coffee clubs want to know why it even happened that the senior center shut down. Was that a federal, state, or local that caused that? Was it funding from the federal, the state, or the local funding that caused it? And I don't know either. Because I've never seen it out there in black and white that so-and-so did this or whatever, and this is why it's closed. I would like to see that brought out to the public more than what it has. What little bit I've been able to pick up, I'm not certain yet where the fallout came from. So I would even like to know exactly where it came from, what caused it, and who was responsible for doing it.
My answer to that is all above. So we got reduced funding, and that goes back to our area agency where federal money comes in and trickles down to state, which they divvy it out to all the regions,
Sherry, can you speak up, please?
to all the region within our area. And we're under that region, area 3. So it's a trickle down from federal. And then there was issues within the area 3 agency of overpayment that also came into play. And then I really have to say it was mismanagement of the funding on our level also. We didn't try to get that under control several months ago, but that continued on. So it ended up being a funding issue ultimately.
Strictly a funding issue.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Some of it,
there are a lot, there again, rumors.
a majority of it.
You have people saying that someone didn't input certain forms for 2 years and that cost us $150,000 right there. You have rumors that someone didn't do their job and we didn't get funding approved, so we're never gonna go back and be able to get that. And I would hope that if that is true, that you're focusing on it, but you needed all the rumors that are out there.
No, appreciate that.
I think part of what happens is people hear bits and pieces and then they fill in the blanks and that's where, and then that, what they fill in the blanks becomes facts. As Commissioner Williams stated, our expenses were lot more than our revenue, and there was issues with the revenue. When we went to area 3 instead of the area 10, and things were told to not only us, but to other counties that revenue would not change, and it did, and it affected all the counties. And so not only did we get a reduced amount, then the reduced amount was also an overpayment, which goes back to the previous director of the area 3. And then that excess that they had overpaid has to be paid back as well. So then that, you go from here to here, and then this is extra. So next thing you know, we go from here to here. And that was a big issue. Things have kind of changed around a little bit because the aging director for the bureau chief is they have an interim now. Area 3 had an interim, but now who had been the interim is now the replacement is now permanent, or whatever as permanent as anything can be. So things have changed with the people in these other positions. So like Commissioner Williams stated, yeah, the funding, it's at every level. There was, issues, and it's a lot easier to look back now and you stand back and take a look at that and see what those issues are. And we're hopefully going to take those things that were and learn from those and move forward.
It would be helpful if did a summary for the newspaper and said this, because the rumors that are going on are vicious.
Oh, they.
They're ruining people's reputations. It would be very nice if you could say, no, it's this funding.
When you guys hear something like these things, refer them to the interim director. Williams or whoever, and even if you could talk to them or get a name and a number and so that somebody could talk to them directly. And I know some people are not gonna want to pass that on. They just want to call and tell you these things or whatever, but if at all possible, you know, that would be very nice. And then some of that could be addressed directly like you guys have brought forward.
Governor cutting funding and line item details. I know I'm on the CASA board and that really hurt us too. I'm sorry.
I know if I get phone calls down there in the last couple, 3 weeks, I refer them to the county commissioners.
Well, as you can tell from our agendas to our accidental quorums, the Council on Aging is the forefront of our minds. We're always discussing it. We're always trying to make it, you know, where it's stable and get to where it needs to be. So, yeah, no, anytime any of these folks that have questions or, you know, rumors or anything, please, we obviously talk about this all the time. So we're more than happy to qualm any of those rumors. So.
Just one more, Jake,
Sure thing.
and we did discuss this some this morning with Bill and you. I did, in my mind, and I'm just me, don't understand why we have a person that is on the county commissioners board that was in charge of that before. Why he didn't take over when this all came about, because he already knew what all of the steps were that were going on. So why did it get turned over to Sherry to start digging from there, going back, instead of have Bill says, I know this is where we're at, and that's why. I mean, that's my question is, why did it switch and how come the commissioners did that?
As I mentioned earlier, Commissioner Williams had been the interim director after I stepped down the last time, so she'd had some experience there. And she has a lot more energy than myself to be able to do that. So those are a lot of those reasons. And she wanted it. So.
Let's make it known. I mean, this.
Is that an issue out there? I have not heard
Yeah.
that. It's an issue that I'm the interim? Are you saying it's an issue that I'm the interim? Or that Bill's not the interim because he was on the,
It's an issue. They said they already had the person that knew everything that was going on. Why did it switch?
That person did not know everything.
why do you say it was that person that knew everything that was going on? Because I don't understand that. As a commission, we all knew the same information at the same time.
Head of that, if I can get the right words in my mouth, the council on aging and stuff like that, he was already there.
3 years ago.
But Sherry was too.
So, I mean, the public, I know one little rumor can turn into
Well, then I say to that, when someone has something negative to say, why don't we flip it and do something positive? Instead of feeding into all the negativity and start making it positive. That's all we've tried to do with this whole situation. And to get this all opened back up in a short order, which was not a small feat, is to keep it positive. And yes, we had to go over a little road bump and it was not fun. But let's keep it positive and get some momentum behind it. I'm kind of tired of all the negativity that's surrounding it. We need some positivity behind it.
this is exactly why I said, let's get it out. Let everybody know why, how come, and what for.
I think we've
They-
kind of been
those
doing that for
questions away.
3 weeks now. And
Yeah.
it's multiple meetings. We've said the same thing over and over and over. And I just don't know how to get more clear on that.
Well, I guess I'm a one, I go to a lot of meetings, but I never been in a meeting that told me what happened until today.
Okay,
So,
Well, thank you for bringing these things up.
Well, and I think,
All of you that have brought things up.
I think what we want the public to know too is that, yes, Commissioner Williams does have the title of interim director. However, this is an entire team effort. You know, it was Commissioner Williams and I that did the KRTV thing. Bill's been working in the background. Tiffany's been answering field and phone calls. Our wonderful volunteers down at the senior center that we still have right now. This is an entire team effort. So yes, Commissioner Williams does have the title. Yet it's not just Commissioner Williams, it's all of us working together to try to make this a better situation. Yes, ma'am.
Take care of here. I think that's excellent explanation. Tell the newspaper that so that it just answers their questions. I see exactly what you're saying, the teamwork. I think it's amazing. And we greatly appreciate us, the senior community. But yeah, toot your own horn then, you know, get out there and let the newspapers know. Or even post it on our Facebook page or something. And I think it would help solve something.
But this is what it takes. As far as I'm concerned, this is what it takes to squash rumor is somewhere. And don't ask me how you do it because I've been in the position, I've been myself where people wondered what I was doing there. But you've got to try your best to put out information to the public so they can stop these things from going 9,000 miles an hour. And nobody knows what they're talking about.
Where do you think that's gonna stop in Haver?
Is it gonna stop anywhere? I don't think so,
I don't think so either.
but it helps if you get together with a group of people and they can go out and say, hey, you guys got it wrong. I went and got it right directly from the horse's mouth. This is what's going on. Why don't you go?
Because you say that and then that person turns around and tells a total different story.
I know.
Well, what they hear, what they say, and then what's received might be three different things.
But now you
I've
can
been
go back to your coffee clubs and you can tell them what you know.
So, Mr. Leeds, as the media broadcasters, are you getting all this down for us?
You didn't know.
Teamwork.
No, I've got notes.
Well, thank you, everybody. For the sake of time here, is there any other discussion on Council on Aging? Discussions regarding matters involved with Great West Engineering projects. As some of you may know, maybe some don't, this last legislative session, we went out and with the help of Great West Engineering, they wrote a grant, a historical preservation grant to get our elevator up to code, or not up to code, it's up to code, don't worry. But that elevator was put in the 60s. We've kept it going, we've kept it up and running, but it's to the point now where we can't find even pieces for it. So we were not on the list for the historical preservation grant. They were allocating money to the top 10, I believe it was. The grant was $500,000. We weren't on the list, but we all worked together. I went down and testified in Helena to the committee. We ended up on the list. We didn't get the full 500,000, but we did get $350,000. So in this last couple weeks, Treasurer Sandy Brown and I sat down with Great West Engineering, and so that way we could figure out what our next steps are to get the elevator up and running. What are the pieces? What do we need to do? Because this building is a historical building, and we can't be changing stuff up. It's part of the historical thing. So it looks like what we need to do is just update what we have. We're not drilling any more holes. We're not, making any more room. It is strictly just updating what we have. So we are in the process of talking. We use Kone for our contract for our elevator. So we're getting all the different things, our stuff for the elevator from Kone, and we're seeing how far can we stretch this $350,000 to get our elevator updated. So Sandy Brown and I, we're working together with Great West Engineering, as well as the Department of Commerce, who does the historical preservation grants, and we're working through that. So I just wanted to update the public on that.
That's in this building.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice work, thanks.
So I was really thankful. I do give a lot of credit to our representative, Paul Tuss. He was part of that committee. We went to him for that and said, we could really use an elevator. And he's like, well, you're not on the list, but let's see, and I asked him, I said, would it be better to testify in person or by Zoom? And he said, come down in person. It always helps out. So I did. I went down twice to testify for this grant, and we went from $0 to $350,000. So I do thank Representative Tuss for helping us, Hill County out with that project.
And we did have on Wednesday a meeting with Jonathan Weaver from Great West regarding fencing and dike. And then, Pat Beagle was also on the phone from Stormwater Construction. They haven't done an awful lot and are hoping that weather's gonna get a little bit better because, it's not, hasn't been so much the weather as it has been the ground being frozen.
Yeah.
So
Hard to drive fence posts into frozen ground, so.
that project's still proceeding, just not a lot right now.
We're kind of in a holding pattern.
So we'll have another updated meeting in 2 weeks on, I believe,
the 11th. So. All right, claims and payroll. From the 911 committee, CenturyLink. This is our 911 emergency bundle services. $770.58. Next up, from the commissioners, Lakeside Excavation Incorporated. This is weekly inspections on lift stations, period ending 1/31/2026. This is in the amount of $2,541.80. The Commissioners, Department of Revenue. This is the 1% gross receipts tax for Walker River Construction, application number 2. The Walker River Construction, it was for $58,000 or $5,800, excuse me. The 1% GRT, gross receipts tax, is $58. So this claim is for $58. From the Hill County Council on Aging, this is the Montana DPHHS, Department of Health and Human Services. This is our senior citizens license number for the Haver site. This is in the amount of $225. From the fair, this is to North 40 Outfitters. They bought 24 50-pound bags of medium stock salt in the amount of $178.80. Next up, from the auditor's office, Triangle Communications. This is our telephone lines and long distance calls, internet service and telephone system, as well as our local access charges, voice service, and Triangle LEC, $1,357.51. The weed department. This is from Vesseris. Invoice. 2 backpack sprayers in the amount of $499.98. Harry Turner had way better hand.
Poor Joe.
I love Joe. Joe's great. But Commissioners, Walker River Construction. This is the application number 2 that I was just discussing about with the GRT. This is an application period from 12/1/25 to 1/31/26. The Beaver Creek Dam Tailwater Channel Rehabilitation Project. This is for the invoice amount is for $5,742 even. All right, done. Oh, getting the end of our show here. Public comments on agenda items. Public comments on non-agenda items. Hearing none, meeting adjourned, 2:47 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for coming.